I just fired my first VA. Let me give you a little background. So this might sound unrelated, but I'll get to it in a minute. So months ago, I went ahead and made a goal to read 30 books for the year. That's about 2.5 books a month. I eventually got to these 2 books, which were Traction and Rocket Fuel, which were business books. And after reading those 2 books, I learned 2 things. First thing I learned was always show genuine appreciation, genuine feedback to employees. And 2, hire slow and fire fast. I know I've been doing the first one a lot, and the second one, not so much. And you know, that kind of bit me in the butt a little bit, and let me explain why. So as I was beginning the hiring process at first, there was this little thing in the back of my head that I had like a bad feeling about this person just because of the way they responded. The emails back and forth was a little bit not to my liking. I didn't really vibe with it, but I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and give this person a shot. The other thing I didn't like too was the way they actually spoke for the voiceovers. I mean, everybody has a unique voice, but I just didn't like that voice for my voiceovers. I mean that's it. But I'm like, again, let me just give this person a shot. Let me see what they can do, right? And then I also promised him I'd give him a chance, just because why not? And I also needed people at that time since I was just starting. And here's the thing, what happened. I mean, he went ahead and produced the content. He produced the voiceovers. I wasn't really a fan of it. And also on top of that, he wasn't really listening to what I was saying, or in this case, listening to what I was texting, writing him about, like process or procedure, or I'm asking him a question, and then he goes ahead and just disregards it completely and then just says something else. Or out of the blue just kind of keeps pouncing about something and something. And I found that a bit annoying, and so I thought it was probably wasn't a good fit in the end. And you know, I know that's completely my fault. You know, I should have used my gut feeling a little bit more too, and also hire slower. So I mean, overall, what did I learn? I learned 2 things. I learned 1, I should definitely listen to my gut. If there's something that feels off, if there's something wrong that I'm not liking, then I should probably go with that instinct and just go ahead and listen to it. And 2, I definitely have to listen to what I read and what I've been saying, which is hire slow and fire fast. I did the firing relatively quickly, but the hiring, it was pretty quick, and not just with him, but with everybody. I know for the future, when I'm starting off a 3rd automation channel, I know I'm going to go ahead and take my time more with it, just to make sure it's the right fit. I'll also go ahead and make sure the pay is a little bit more like that I can do. Like right now, for example, I think it's a pretty good, fair starting amount, but I feel like if I went even higher, then I definitely get better quality, like better quality equipment, faster turnaround. But I mean, this is me starting out. You know, I'm not ready to, you know, invest like $50+ in a video right now. I'm investing at most upwards of like $36 or $38 per video, which I mean is up there. But I mean, compared to what they produce, I mean, it's pretty worth the money anyway, in my opinion. So if you haven't known yet, I went ahead and enrolled in Ryan Hildreth's Cashflow channels course. It's been about, I want to say 2 weeks now. And the good thing is they always do have weekly videos for it, which is literally live calls where he answers your questions. So basically everybody who has a question will get a turn to either type their questions out or literally just say it, and then he'll go ahead and answer it. Kind of have a back and forth Q&A with you and then with everybody there, which is like really useful. I know my first one I did, I went ahead and asked a good amount of questions, implemented what he said, and then, you know, it turned out a lot better there. Missed the second one, unfortunately, but I rewatched it, and then this is going to be the 3rd one, which is later on today at 4 p.m., I want to say, Eastern Standard Time. As far as that goes, I have 5 videos up, and the video that got the most traction was 300 views, which was what I was originally going to say, but after checking it again, this video's been up for about 2, almost 3 days, and it already has 1,200 views. And for starting like a new niche in a channel, which is completely unrelated to the stuff I was putting out before in that channel, is pretty amazing. I was pretty happy, I was pretty impressed. And obviously I used the techniques that Ryan Hildreth went ahead and said. I'm not going to mention them just because, I mean, that would be unfair to me and unfair to everybody that actually paid for that info, but it definitely helped gain traction, so I'm really happy about that. And, you know, I know there's a lot more traction to gain from it. And if you guys have any questions on YouTube automation or kind of how I'm dealing with these different kind of hiccups, just go ahead and leave a comment below, or you can go ahead and email me too. I have it in my about section. If you are interested in Ryan Hildreth's course or you have any more questions, same thing, just ask me. And if you do decide to go with it, you know, I'd appreciate if you use, you know, my referral link and put Chris Barros as your referral. If not, I mean, like I said before, you don't have to buy a course to be successful, but it'll just go ahead and speed up the process, which is why, you know, I believe in Cashflow channels. That's why I went ahead and enrolled in it. That's why I had enrolled in different courses as well too. But that's me. You might be different. So that's my little update on YouTube automation. Now back to the VAs. I did go ahead and implement a little bit of changes, which is how pay is made. So before, pay was kind of in a chaotic way. Starting out, like I was thinking of it being weekly, then bi-weekly, because somebody asked me, and I'm like, that's a good idea. So I was starting to pay these people like once a week at first, and now I'm moving on to bi-weekly, but it wasn't on the same day. So I went ahead and sent out basically a mass email for my 7 team members and just letting them know. So starting July 1st for them to send me their invoices so I can go ahead and pay them that Friday. And then every 2 weeks from there on, so July 1st, July 15th, and July 30th is when they're gonna go ahead and be paid. And then I'll basically just continue sending those emails there. And so basically what I learned this whole time with working with a bunch of different VAs, from script writers, video editors, voice actors, thumbnail designers, was it takes time to work with a team. Like, you have to know how they function, how they work, also like what you have to give them, how you have to treat them. Like, some people you got to push a little bit more than others, and then some people just have different schedules. Like, it's 3 p.m. for me over here, and then I get a message from one of my VAs saying, oh, this is done right here. And I'm like, it's 3 a.m. over there. Like, wow, like you don't stop. So I mean, that's kind of crazy, but on the same time, that can also affect workflow, because somebody else won't see that until like hours later. Like, that was supposed to be submitted a little bit earlier in my time, but in their time it's different. And then also the other thing I learned too is kind of separating out how long each person should take. I thought I gave a good amount for each person to do, but just because I was getting organized, turns out it wasn't enough, which is why I switched to having 2 video editors per channel. So basically, one of my editors works on one video, they finish it up, I check it, and then like the next day the other editor finishes that video, I check it, everything, and then I can post those 2. And then that first editor, since he's done, he already had a whole day to work on a different video, and it's kind of like that back and forth. The only kind of problem with that is they might have different editing styles, but what I've been doing was just basically taking the chunks of things that I like from one editor and then just telling it to the other and be like, hey, follow this over here or follow that over here. And then same thing with like background music goes, like up the volume a little bit more. That was the issue I had with one of my editors, but I went ahead and let him know, hey, can you increase the volume a little bit more? And then also with some like non-copyrighted images, non-copyrighted videos, he kind of took some stuff that I didn't want him to, so he kind of had to kind of redo it a little bit. And if they fix it, then great. You know, that's what, you know, I'm looking for, that's what we're looking for. And if they don't, then kind of go on and see what kind of actions you want to take. Like what I wanted to go ahead and do was like a 3-strike rule. Like, your first one is a warning, the second one is like a mini probation, like, all right, I won't give you work for, like, let's say instead of giving you 4 pieces of work this week, I'll give you 1 piece. And then the third one would be like final strike, like, all right, I'm sorry, you know, we can't work together, that's done. Kind of might sound hypocritical now after saying that, just because of the person that I did end up firing. So ending off, I just want to say, you know, I'm really happy that I put the systems in place. I just wanted to share it out there. So as long as I have the strong foundation, which is basically the systems in place, everything else that's built upon it is going to go ahead and just work a lot easier. Because, you know, if I didn't basically enroll in this, I wouldn't kind of know everything, what to do. Some stuff would have been messed up, and then I kind of would have had to redo some stuff. I would have been kind of taking a step backwards, but I'm glad I entered the course so I can actually ask my questions that I have and actually use the systems that they tell you to use, because it works. And the channel I'm currently using to put these videos out there was already monetized. So before that, I was making roughly like about at least $1 a day. And then I've seen like a slight increase here and there, you know, within the past week. Nothing too drastic, but enough that you can notice it. So, you know, I know this is working for now, and you might not see it as like huge change, like, oh, you're only making, you know, a couple cents or a couple dollars a day. But here's the thing, things compound a lot over time. I know that $1 is eventually going to turn into 10 will turn into 100 into 1,000, and then, you know, that's when, you know, the big change is going to happen. And so I'm glad I'm documenting this so I can look back in it and be like, so that's how it was in the start. Anyway, that's it. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be the first to be notified when new videos come out. And until next time, see ya. I also want to share, I've been doing outlines, and it's definitely been helping me a lot better. Like, not using scripts, but more so outlines, so I have like little bit talking points of what to say. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share.